All right, everybody. How we all doing? We doing good? We doing good? I don't actually care that much how you all are doing. Let me tell you how I'm doing. I'm doing very, very well. I got a lot of sleep today. I got a lot of sleep. Normally on Mondays, you see me on I mean, obviously I save energy for the stream at the end of the day, but you see me, I guess, usually running on like under 7 hours of sleep, which isn't that crazy, but everything's relative. Some people need, I think I need more sleep than the average person, just slightly. I think I need like 7, 8 hours, otherwise I'm not perfect, right? Normally you see me like 6, 5 hours of sleep on Mondays. Why? It's just hard to shift over from like weekend where you're sleeping in to Monday where you're waking up early, right? Today I got 10 hours of sleep because I slept very early. Dish Dryer, welcome to the Yonko. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's get the stream started off with a you're in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. This is added to my good mood. How's my oh no, never mind. I thought someone said how's your back? So I have to be like, my back is supposed to be bad now? What are you guys talking about? What have you guys been saying? I can look over here at my other monitor now to see the chat. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are talking about the baby. Apparently my baby's a teenage son at this point. Apparently I have 7 kids. Man, if I had a kid, let me just tell you, okay, first off, hold up. Let me tell you the plot of today's stream, okay? The plot of today's stream is basically, oh wait, welcome to the Yonko. I'm embarrassed. I can't say this word at all. What is this Someone please tell me what what is this language? What's this language? I have no idea what this language is. Can someone tell me what this language is and perhaps translate this person's name so I can wish them welcome to the Yonko? Blackleg, welcome to the Yonko. Easy name to say, even though you spelled it wrong with 2 G's. Thank you, I appreciate it. How do I say that person's name? It looks like a U to me. You. It's gonna be embarrassing if that's Hindi. I don't think that's Hindi though. I don't speak Hindi so good. All right, so anyway, plot for this stream is this. We're gonna talk a little bit about 1061. I've got a good theory based off of what Dr. Farewell said last stream. Who was here for last stream? Dr. Farewell dropped a great theory regarding what might potentially be the case with Vegapunk, etc. Slogmadarfin said mid-J late as usual. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. I was on a good streak of being on time for like 3 streams. I don't know what happened. God knows what happened to that. What was I doing back then? Maybe I was getting like really good sleep back to back to back days. Spade, welcome to the Yonko. Appreciate it. Orca, welcome to the Yonko. We've got... definitely really appreciate everybody joining the Yonko tier. Definitely appreciate it. Especially during a break week where there's no real like crazy chapter hype or anything going on. Jacob Wilson said, hey Morj, just wanted to say sup. I will catch the stream later. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it. Catch it on your own time whenever you like. There's no rush. Anyway, agenda for this stream. We're going to talk a little about 1061. I got a video coming out about Vegapunk, etc. I do cite Dr. Farewell in that video, so don't even worry about that. Remember, any juicy ideas you guys drop in these streams, if they make their way over to videos or whatever, I always reference the person as in the stream itself or in the video itself. So just think about it like that. Your brilliant ideas are not going to waste. Goomba Boomba, welcome to the Yonko. Wait, Goomba Boomba joined the Yonko. Who led? Can we kick him out? I don't know if I like this. All right, all right, Goomba Boomba, welcome to the Yonko. Hybrid, welcome to the Yonko. All right. Blackleg says, what is that join sound effect? Sounds like Mario Party. Yeah, I tried to find a good join sound effect. This is what we're rolling with at the moment. It's supposed to be a placeholder, but I kind of like it now. Maybe just get used to it. Because all the other default options that they give you for when someone joins are like really, really obnoxious. It's like this crazy video game music starts playing or like Metallica starts going off or something. It's like, I don't want to hear this, that like, it's just be simple. Let's get some fireworks in there. Let's get a nice little, I don't know, you called it a video game sound or whatever, like a basic video game sound effect, not like a whole OST or theme song or whatever, right? Ramen Stains, welcome to the Yonko. Thank you. Koopy Coop says, run a poll if I'm a real mod or not. You're just scared. Okay, Koopy Coop, I'll show you something right now. Koopy Coop is a glutton for punishment. Snap, thank you. Last stream, my bank stopped my card from working because I talked too much about Helmet Bowl last stream. Okay. That sounds like it's on you though, buddy, but hey, thanks, I appreciate the sacrifice. Who, question mark, says child reveal at 200k subs. Yeah, if we can get me there, I will reveal my child at 200k subs. My child. Joshua Bryson, welcome. Thanks, I appreciate it. All right, let's say what's the poll? Is Koopy Coop a real mod? Who? All right. All right. Simple question. Anyway, we're gonna talk about 1061 a little bit. Most of my thoughts on 1061 will be saved for the next video, basically, which will be coming out this week soon. A little bit later than usual. I know normally my videos come out on Tuesdays, but let's just say. Wait. Okay, big update for you guys. Who is excited for the Wano arc review / analysis? Who is excited? I hope you all are excited. Okay, Koopy Coop. So the poll is not looking good for you. I just don't. Most of them don't know who you are. The people who do are saying that you were not a real mod. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. The Wano arc review / analysis. I was trying to get that done this weekend. I'm working Friday night. I'm very, very tired and sleepy. I was trying to get it out this week. I realized over the course of the video that I literally cannot finish it. Even if I work the entire weekend through, I cannot finish it and do it right. So it's going to be a bit of a longer wait. It's partway done. Let's say that. It's partway done. Expect it the next break week. I was trying to get it out this break week. Expect it the next break week. I'm sorry about that. That's also why this week's video is delayed, because I'm having to do it basically. I had to basically pause the Wano arc review and then move on basically to working on a separate video for this week. But that video will be out hopefully Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. Anyway, and that's an interesting one. It's an interesting Vegapunk theory for sure. You guys probably saw a bit of it if you were here last stream. Gilgamesh LX1, welcome to the Yonko. Thank you. I think everyone's just in a good mood for some reason. Maybe it's just my well-rested perspective of the world, but I don't know. I feel like everybody in chat's in a good mood. Who's had a good day so far? Let me do a poll. On that. MMM26 says, is it possible Blackbeard wanted Boa's fruit to reverse its effect on rocks? Maybe he got turned to stone by previous users. Yeah, that was something I actually discussed, I believe, with Parvision, if Parvision's in chat. I discussed that with Parvision. It's interesting, right? Boa revealed that she can't do that, but there was the discussion of like, well, what if you awaken the Mero Mero Nomi? Maybe you're able to do it then. Maybe there's some stipulations that she hasn't realized yet that would allow her to do something like that, right? Sheriff Lafitte says, good evening, Mr. Morj. Good evening to you, Sheriff. All right, let me ask this. I never ask you guys how your day is going. That's my bad. I get on your guys' cases for being like, hey, you don't ask me about my day. But you know what? It goes both ways. Sheriff Lafitte says, how long do you think Egghead will be as an arc? I mean, the easy cop-out answer is I think it'll be about as long as Zoe. So I guess the question, there's two options for this arc, right? Like, either this is the spark for some crazy fallout, like a bunch of forces all attack Egghead Island or something like that. Or it's really more so going to be a lore exposition type arc, storytelling focus, like micro storytelling or whatever, similar to Zoe, right? So either this is like a setup for some crazy stuff to get triggered off of this, or we are really in it just for some basic stuff. So if it's the Zoe type thing, then I don't know, 20 chapters. If it's the trigger for something bigger, then maybe we won't even be calling it the Egghead arc by the end of it. Maybe it's like the Blackbeard Wars or some shit, basically, depending on who or what comes up to this island, right? Good. I'm about to set up a poll. Bad. I guess I should add an option for okay. Okay. No, you know what? The world is black and white. There's no middle ground, all right? At least not in the version of the poll I'm putting out. Either your day was good or bad. That's just the way things are, all right? So, anyway, here's what's happening. So, Wano review, slightly moved, but I think it's going to be a good video. I've written enough of it that I believe it's going to be a good video. If I'd gotten it out over the course of the weekend, it would have been a fine video, but I want to make sure it's a great video. Okay, so I chose to move it rather than rush it, but it's partway complete. Just think about it like that, okay? So Wano video is happening. I want to talk about 1061 a little bit, and I'm interested in this. There's something that was that we're kind of sitting on for like, okay, everyone's had a good day so far. That's interesting. That's nice. 70% of you. 70% is pretty good. 70% is pretty good. Caleb Brown says, I gotta know, do you have Wano in your top 10? I personally don't. Not me personally. No worries if you guys do. Hybrid says, hey, Porch. You watch Game of Thrones? I do. Are you going to ask me about House of the Dragon? Because I don't watch that. Game of Thrones I really, really loved while it was running. Then I began to love it less and less as we approached the end. And I really, really, I mean, it's nothing new here, nothing original that I'm really saying. I'm just going to say that I personally really, really did not like the ending of Game of Thrones to a point that, like, it makes me never want to revisit that series or that world again. So, this House of the Dragon thing, I don't care. They can throw millions of dollars at it. I'm just no longer interested in Westeros, personally. Yeah, I'm just not. Even if it's, like, a good story or whatever, I will never again trust. You know what? If House of the Dragon runs its 10 seasons or whatever and it gets to the end and people are like, it was really good, then I'll watch it. But I will never again trust, um, that universe to deliver after Game of Thrones, basically. I will always I'll be watching House of the Dragon and be like, okay, but how do I know, even if I'm really liking this season, how do I know that any of this is actually going to lead to anything meaningful? How do I know you all won't just forget about character storylines or wave shit away or ignore shit down the line? You know what I mean? Basically, how do I know you're not just Game of Thronesing me again? Dragging me in for 6, 7 seasons, then being like, aha, we got you. We're just going to suck. We're going to suck all the way through the end and ruin the whole series. Ryan Chan says, hey Mo, I got COVID last week and I had to work today. Yeah, it depends. Like, working if you're really suffering from COVID, working sucks. Like, some people, they get COVID and it's not the worst thing, you know? Insert clickbait. Welcome to the Yonko. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And KGM78, welcome to the Yonko as well. A lot of people looking out for that exclusive podcast. Heads up, if you join the Yonko, you do get access to an exclusive podcast that comes out every Friday. And no One Piece chapter this week, so maybe you will enjoy that podcast. I don't know. Maybe you'll hate the podcast, but then you know what? That's fine. You don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to be a Yonko forever, you know? But it's a cool podcast, at least from my perspective, because it's more stream of thoughts, stream of consciousness. All the stuff that I save from, that I don't include in videos and streams and stuff like that goes there, basically. So just general, more speculative and, I guess, out there thoughts or ideas and my real feelings about certain things. Nicholas Sealstern says, hi Morj, I wanted to bring up that in the past, Kuma was designated as PX0, the original, so it could be we might get 3 Vegapunks. I don't know about that. Like, I think that's just a different line of production, you know what I'm saying? And I think I'm caught up here. No. Yeah, it depends how bad COVID hits you, because some people, COVID does nothing. For me, when I got COVID, it was really, really bad, because it wasn't the fever and stuff like that. It was I personally suffered from intense body pain. So people don't, like, COVID has so many random symptoms that some people don't really play up certain symptoms a lot. It affects people differently, at least from what I've seen. For me, people did not tell me the back pains and the leg pains were so randomly terrible. It made it almost impossible to sleep. And I spent most of the beginning of this stream bitching about how I need my sleep. Dish Dryer says, don't like stream until Koopy Koop is recognized. Yeah, everybody like the stream. Let's get the stream to at least, I don't know, enough likes to make Koopy Koop mad. What's the stream likes at? Oh, only 146? Yeah, we can do better than that. Let's get it up a little bit. Just a little bit more. Let's get it up to 400. I think that's a reasonable number. Snap says, good day, just quit my job today. I hope you have a follow-up plan. But it can be a good feeling, I'm sure, to quit your job. I've only done that when I've had something next, down the line. Or not even down the line, or like more just like, okay, I no longer need this job or something like that. So as long as you're in that situation. Okay, Mr. Mumph2 says, how can anyone have a bad day when Morj streams? That's a sweet thing to say. The answer, though, is I can. I have had bad days when I've streamed, so it's possible. James Haller says, anyone know where I can read Hunter x Hunter in color? Phantom Greyfire, actually, if Phantom Greyfire is in chat, he actually linked me a way to read Hunter x Hunter in color. It didn't have all the chapters. Phantom Greyfire, if you want to drop that, that was much appreciated. Does not have all the chapters, but, some is better than nothing, right? Mr. Mf2, welcome to the Yonko. Wait, is this just after you said, who can have a bad day? That's so sweet. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Korakan, welcome to the Yonko. You know what's interesting? There's people who join who I've never seen, like, really chat before. I don't really recall chatting before, so you never know, I guess, who's a longtime lurker who just feels like, spur of the moment joining. Interesting. Sheriff Laffy said, saw an old One Piece episode, the one where Smoker lets Luffy go in Alabasta. I hope Oda does right by Smoker as a character this arc. He was so cool. What are the chances that Smoker doesn't show up and Oda just forgot about him? Just kidding. Obviously, Tashigi's here. I like that Oda's introducing Tashigi first, because it's kind of like hyping us up a little bit for Smoker. You know what I mean? It's not just dropping Smoker back on us, and now we're excited because we see Tashigi, so we're like, oh, we know who comes along with Tashigi. We know who comes along with Tashigi. It's the guy that we actually care more about. Wrench Dodger 2000 says, I don't think the Seraphim are former warlords. I think they have models of everyone captured by world government, so Boa, Mihawk, King, Kaido, Kuma, and Bonnie. Yeah, the one interesting thing is that somebody was mentioning to me that the Seraphim are based off of the biblical, the biblical Seraphim, and supposedly 7 is usually the number that is associated with the biblical Seraphim. So, like, I could see it just being the 7 warlords, personally. Bingle the Oops says, poor Koopy Koop is flailing. uh, Hybrid says, Mr. Horse, Goat, or Lord of the Rings. I'm never gonna watch the fucking Rings of Power show. That's a guarantee. I'm never watching that. I'm not watching some Amazon shit. Maybe it's good, but it's not gonna be great. That's my opinion. If I'm totally wrong and people are loving it, I just haven't heard people talking about it much. Here's my thing about House of the Dragon and Rings of Power. If people had kept talking about those shows a lot, maybe I would have given them a try by this point. But the initial discussion largely around those two shows was just that it was mainly for their premiere and their first couple episodes. Now I don't see people talking about them much. And the reason that they were getting so much discussion is because one is it's because of the properties that they are, right? It's because it's coming from the Game of Thrones Westeros universe, and the other is going off of Lord of the Rings, adding the rivalry aspect of them. It's like, which show is going to do better? One's by HBO, one's by Amazon. They're both going after the same sort of market. So much excitement out of around that concept, etc. And then no one cares now, right? No one cares. Some people I'm sure are still watching. Maybe they're very good. When I say no one cares, please understand I mean that the level of discussion has dropped off significantly. So to me, it's like if they were really good, I think that they would still be getting discussed. Similar example I'd give is like Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul, I think that the discussion dropped off after it premiered initially, etc. But over time, you kept hearing people say, no, you should be watching Better Call Saul. You should be watching Better Call Saul. You should be watching, right? And it's wrapped up and people are saying the ending was good. So at this point, I am going to watch Better Call Saul at some point. But those other two shows, I'm just like, if they, if they were just hyped for, if they were just hyped up for their initial premiere, for their debut or whatever, and now they're solid but not great shows, I'm not going to watch them. If you're asking in general Game of Thrones versus Lord of the Rings, I mean, comparing books to books, I've read the full Lord of the Rings series. I've only read 2 books out of Game of Thrones, or sorry, A Song of Ice and Fire. I like Lord of the Rings better, but at the same time, I was younger back then, so maybe easier to please when I read Lord of the Rings. Movies, Lord of the Rings are 3 of my favorite. I count that trilogy as one. Easily one of my favorite movies. I count them as one. I think they're all filmed at the same time. They're a very, very continuous story. It doesn't feel like they're 3 separate stories. It feels like literally it's just one story that happens to be split into 3 parts. So Lord of the Rings I consider one of my favorite movies by far. Game of Thrones was one of my favorite shows. It was. At this point I don't really view it that way. Anyway. Sampath Sakesh Ravolaparthi says, hey Mr. Morj, we're given a right turn from what we were expecting and I'm really excited. Top 3 things you're looking forward to from Egg Island. Cool. Top 3 things I'm looking forward to from the Egg Island. Top 3 things I'm looking for. I think I want info on Bonnie. I want info on Vegapunk. And I want info on basically what happened in the Marijua incident. And I think that we could also get that from Bonnie. I think we could also get info on Kuma out of this, right? Bonnie just opens up a lot of doors, and Vegapunk. Bonnie and Vegapunk basically, they both hold the keys to the mystery of Bartolome Kuma, right? Because Vegapunk is the one who did the experiments and stuff on him, and then Bonnie is the one who knew him pre-experiments and everything like that. I think that there's a solid amount of potential for Kuma stuff to be solved right here. Caleb Brown says, hey Morj, it's been a while since I've been on your stream because of my new job, but don't... Kalal Brown. Did I say Caleb Brown? Maybe I had a habit. Kalal Brown says, hey Morj, it's been a while since I've been on your stream because of my new job. Congrats on the new job. Somebody else just quit their job today. They're very happy about that, so they're also looking for a new job. But don't forget that I'm the guy who's been asking for a wiper analysis for over a year. BTW, you're the best One Piece YouTuber. I might do a wiper analysis soon because I was talking about wiper a little bit on the Twitter timeline. I think a day ago, 2 days ago or something like that. There was interest in Wiper. Wiper is my favorite side character in One Piece, easily. I love Wiper's storyline. It's just filled with, with so much hate and anger, but it's so justified. It's fun reading Wiper's story in Skypiea. He deserved more. I mean, I would personally be frustrated if I was Wiper and I spent so much. I guess it's similar with what happened. It's deliberately similar to the story of Law and Dressrosa, right? But Wiper lived all his, like, he's had this drive for so long to free Shandia, relight the sorry, yeah, you know what I mean. Relight the fires of Shandia, defeat Enel, etc. This has been his lifelong dream. And then this idiot, literally an idiot, like, we find Luffy endearing because we're the reader, but you have to understand from these people's perspectives, this is actually a fucking moron. Like, somebody who knows absolutely nothing and is honestly the stupidest person you will ever encounter in the world, right? He just comes along, has no context, doesn't know anything, right? Has zero place being here, and then he just steals he does all of your life goals for you. And it's like, obviously, Wiper's happy and satisfied at the end of it because, he understands the outcome. What mattered at the end of the day was the outcome, right? The Shandians, his people, they have a place again, right? Relit the fires, etc. It's everything's nice, peachy, but it's still got a sting a little bit in the back of your mind, just like, fuck, this guy, this guy did it. This guy beat Edel, and like, he was the one who rang the bell at the end of the day, the bell that I've dreamed about since I was like a fucking child. Damn, I'd be pissed personally. I think I'd be petty about it. I think, like, even if all my people are happy and I got everything that I wanted, right? I think I'd just be really petty and still salty that, like, this actual moron. You come across this guy, what is he doing? He's he's singing the world's stupidest song in the woods that you've been fighting to to recapture forever. He's singing some shit about the people of the South are dumb, the people in the East are dumb. He's just singing this song, walking around. He has no idea that there's like 1,000-year-old civil war happening right around him. He's talking about these other people being dumb from these other parts of the world. He's dumber than all of them. I don't know. I would go insane if Luffy came in and like stole all my all my dreams and aspirations. Where are we at? How far behind did I fall? Sorry for the long tangent. Let me I think Wiper, at the very least, he deserves a video. I think that's what I've concluded. But Wiper deserves a video. I've talked myself into making a Wiper video. If Oda's not going to give him anything else in the story, I'll give him something. I'll give him a video. The thing is that I think that it'll be Wiper's one of those characters that Oda couldn't have had continue on in the story because he's just built too main charactery, or at least too rivalry. So like, he would have gotten too strong if you dropped him into the Blue Sea and gave him any sort of a motivation. So you have to leave him in Skypiea. It's similar to, like, it's kind of like Oda had to kill Ace because otherwise, then Luffy has, like, imagine Ace kept going or something, and imagine at some point in the story he actually wanted to be Pirate King or something. Then Luffy's got like a legitimate rival that's got comparable willpower, etc. Right? Same thing with White. Like, certain characters you just got to remove from the story. That's why Luffy gets like these baby soft serve rivals like Kid and Law. Law doesn't even have a Conqueror's Haki or anything like that. Kid doesn't have, I don't know, like a moveset outside of like making. Kid's abilities are literally, he constructs things that are designed to break. It's like the worst craftsmanship ever. It's like he's never shocked when all of his things fall apart. He builds like a giant horse or some shit, or like a zebra, and throws it at the bad guy, and it breaks, and he's like, haha, that was the plan all along. It's built to break. It's like, all right. Have you ever thought of like, maybe the quantity? I wonder if anyone's told Kid like the quantity of weapons that he assembles is not the problem. It's how he's sticking them together, because it's like he was given the power to create, like, I guess it'd be like if like a kid who was really, really, really bad at Legos was given a devil fruit ability that allowed them to be godlike at like their potential at Legos, but they're still held back by their natural inability to assemble things. I feel like that's what Kid is. Because I feel like if you gave Kid's ability, imagine Frankie with Kid's ability. Tell me Frankie would not be stronger than Kid if Frankie had Kid's. I'm doing a poll right now. Tell me Frankie would not be stronger than Kid if Frankie had Kid's ability. Frankie, if he had Kid's ability versus Kid. Who's stronger? Frankie, Kid. If Kid wins this poll, I'm gonna go insane. Do you guys remember what Frankie did? You remember when he made that bridge out of nothing? Yeah, Frankie with Kid's ability is like actually top tier in the Straw Hat crew. He's right there. Frankie with Kid's ability would be broken. If you give Vegapunk Kid's ability, if you gave like honestly, if you gave Queen Kids, give anyone that's never mind. I'm done. Okay, let me catch up on the supers I missed. Give me a second. Where are we at? Give me a second. Axtor says Morj doesn't actually recognize his chatters and just makes up random facts about his viewers on the spot. No, that's not true. Like, there's a lot. Like, Axtor, I don't know you because you haven't. I don't know. I'm sure you've probably commented in the past or supered in the past, but I don't remember everyone. But I remember lots of people that are, like frequent, frequent attendees of stream, especially if they're mods who talk frequently or they're like people who super frequently. So I'm not gonna pretend that like I have a great memory of every single person, but like I know who fucking know who Koopy Koop is, and I know how he became mod, and it was through devious means. It was because I was fucking forgetting to post things on Patreon for like a long while. And then I challenged him to a bet kind of. It doesn't matter. He became a mod through devious means. He didn't earn it. Hype Williams says, "Hey, Mr. Moby, how's your shoulder? How's your eyelid? How's your car? How's your hairline? All of them are fine. Leave me alone." Sheriff Lafitte says, "Do you think Nami and Tashiki's maternal side might come into play regarding the Seraphim?" If Nami's fucking maternal, that would just be so weird and forced, in my opinion. It's like, come on now. Maybe it does, but it'd be weird and forced, in my opinion. Grayshi says, Morj, have you seen the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime? No. Is it any good? Tom says, I want a scene where Usopp has the opportunity to feed a devil fruit to his Kabuto, but refuses. I think it'd be cool, but would it be in line with his character? I feel like Usopp would feed a devil fruit to his Kabuto. I think that'd be cool. I don't think it'd be out of character, personally. Do you have a reason why it'd be out of character? Caleb Brown says, do you think the Marines send an admiral to Egghead knowing there's a Yonko on their island? Also, this could be arc we get Smoker for Straw Hat. So, in theory, I'm interested in how much respect the Marines give Luffy. We know that Green Bull didn't treat Luffy with respect because Green Bull was of the opinion that he could waltz in and take Luffy out. Whereas he was explicitly like, if Kaido was here, I would not be here. And as soon as he knew that Shanks was here, he was like, I gotta leave. But he viewed Luffy as basically like, oh, I can swoop in, take out Luffy. That's perfectly fine, right? He came in with that confidence. That might just be Green Bull being a dummy. I'm interested to see, like, does Akainu view Luffy in that same light? Does Kizaru view Luffy in that same light, right? Are they still thinking of him, like, are they going to give him Yonko respect? Because if they're giving him Yonko respect, then it's not even like they would just send an admiral. They should send, like, everything, like, bring out everything, right? If they're sending just an admiral to take out Luffy right now, it's actually disrespectful. And Smoker for Straw Hat, I'm not going to say anything. It would be nice, but I'm not going to keep pushing that agenda until we get a little bit something more. Hybrid says, how do you think Cross Guild will get involved? I mean, there's good potential with the Kobe thing and the bounties, now that Blackbeard is Kobe. Sheriff Lafitte, and Kobe probably has a high Marine bounty based on his reputation. Sheriff Lafitte says, Wiper is so cool, very underrated. He was just full of badass lines like Out of My Way Demon. Who do you think will be the Wiper of the final arc? So, I mean, in theory, it's just Dragon, right? Like, it's the equivalent, right? It's the equivalent role, right? Dragon is the one, as far as we know, who most likely knows the most about the will of D, same as Wiper knowing the will of Shandia, etc. Dragon most likely has the most, he's kind of the one that's leading the rebellion against God in the modern day world, the same as Wiper was back then. You can kind of see some similarities even there in terms of design, right? Some similarities in terms of design. I'm not going to pretend that they're like one-to-one or whatever. Maybe some minor similarities in terms of personality, but we don't know enough about Dragon personality-wise yet. But I definitely think that there's Dragon is the one you would argue. In theory, Kid could maybe even play a comparable role, but I don't think that. I just don't like. I kind of dropped that viewpoint after a certain point with Kid. Nestor Garcia, welcome to the Yonko. Thank you, appreciate it. Where are we at? Jason 333 says, what are your thoughts on the idea of Caribou being a clone and the certain someone being Vegapunk? Caribou being a clone and the certain someone... Caribou being a clone? Oh, Caribou taking back to Vegapunk? That would be crazy. It would explain why he had a clone in the cover story and why all of his crewmates look the same. I didn't notice all of his crewmates look the same, but I feel like, it's One Piece. He's not going to pay attention to everything. Oda's not going to, flesh out every crew design. Dex says, hey Morj, House of the Dragon is a completed book, so it has a full narrative and ending. 9 out of 10 you should watch. If you'd said 10, I'd consider it, but like 9, I don't know. Colin Dowd says, why didn't Kid use his Devil Fruit Awakening on the roof and just assign Big Mom or Kaido to the sea? Actual fraud. I don't know, man. I don't know if he can assign things to the sea, right? The sea is a counter to Devil Fruit powers. Ham says, hey Mr. Stream, hope you have a good Morj. Thanks, that made sense. Uchek says, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is fantastic. Really? Okay, maybe I'll check it out. Hybrid says, do you think Wiper is im? No, you've lost me there. You had some good stuff you were saying earlier. All right. So, what's the main thing we're trying to talk about today? Here's the main thing. I kind of wanted to, but I don't know if this is what people want to do. This was kind of what the agenda I had was, which was I want to take some time to react to, I've not watched it yet, which is Arthur's video that he did on Luffy's dream, because in the last couple chapters, 1059, we had what do you call? Also, let me link this real quick. Morj Unleashed. In 1059, we got a revisiting of Luffy's dream, and it was kind of established that Luffy's dream is still something that we don't fully understand. Right now, people were saying that Arthur's theory gained more credence after 1059. So now I'm inclined to be like, okay, maybe I should check that theory out. And now it's a pretty long theory, but if you guys are interested, I would want to watch and react to that. I could do that this stream. I could do that another stream. I was thinking I'd do it this stream, unless we've got some other pressing stuff we want to discuss about 1061. Let me see if there's anything interesting about 1061 you guys are saying. AJK said, wow. I don't know what he's saying wow about. Dish Dryer says, dislike the stream until Morj recognizes Koopy Koop as VOD. Koopy Koop saying, can we have a mod tier list? Guys, let's get the stream likes to 500. Let's get the stream likes to 500. Let's do it. You guys want to do it? AJK says, reacting to Luffy's dream when he said it's a goofy theory, but won't react to Wano's border. One is a video. One is like a giant text block. Those are two very, very different things. What is a video? The other is a giant text. Which one do you think? Okay, I'll do a reaction. I see people wanting it. All right, let's do it. Gooma Booma says, isn't Arthur's theory like 2 hours? Let's see how long the video is. Let's take a look at how long the video is. If it's under an hour, keep in mind, I watch at like at least 1.5 speed. I would do 2x speed, but you guys are here. You guys are slow, at least compared to me. So I would do 1.5 speed or something. So, you know, if it's an hour, it'll be 45 minutes. We're not going to do it if it's over an hour. If it's over an hour, that's a bit too much. What's it called? Arthur Party Theory? I've looked it up. I've opened it up. No, his name's O'Hara, Library of O'Hara. I've looked it up before and started the beginning of it. He's got a really cool intro. It's like some bells ringing and shit. Library of O'Hara. What is it? One Piece Theory? 1.75 speed? That's like the same as 2x speed. Then I might as well do 2x speed. What's the difference? Okay, so it's the true history of One Piece Mega Theory. Okay. So it's the first one, right? The first one's only 30 minutes. If it's 30 minutes, I'm going to watch it. It looks like I got about one... The prologue intro is 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it looks like I previously did not make it through that part of it. Let me make sure everything's set up good. Right. 1 second. Hold on. So if I switch to this, then I probably get in trouble with like, YouTube's stuff, right? So what if I did it more like this, where I like put the display small? You guys think this is fine? If I'm like over here and I'm like reading it, but the display is small, is that fine? Is this weird? Maybe I just do it the other way. Maybe I do it display big, me small. I think display big, me small is the way to go. Let me try that. Display big, I'll be small. But what if I get in trouble? I don't want to get in trouble. I won't get in trouble. What are the chances, huh? It's probably fine. It's probably okay. Probably okay. Okay, so we got this up. Yeah, guys, check out Morj Unleashed. Takes the best of every stream, compiles it, compresses it, makes it easier to digest for you guys. The Display small is fine. Display big, Morj small. I mean, that's more fun for you, right? Display big, Morj small. Sampath Sakesh Ravol Parthi says, can we get your theory before you start? My theory on Luffy's dream? AJK says, you said you will discuss it, you liar. I will discuss it. Don't worry about that. Don't even worry about that. Perhaps not today, though. Wrong video. Isn't this the video? It literally said, look at the video. The video literally says, the biggest One Piece theory ever created, the true history. Isn't this one Luffy's dream? Which one covers Luffy's dream? People are saying wrong video. Lula Meg says, what do you think of Luffy's dream being everyone becomes pirate? His idea of pirate is freedom, but also why Roger started the pirate era. Everyone becoming a pirate. I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, there's still going to be a world government. There's still going to be Marines. All of that was established. Okay. Hold on. I'm being told this is the wrong video. YouTube Creator Studio. Where are you sending me? What is this? Oops, something went wrong. AJK, that's the wrong link. It's just called Luffy's Dream? Okay, you know what? Let me pull it up over here. Wait. Actually, now that I'm a pro streamer with 2 monitors, I can move this around. Pull it up over here. Library of O'Hara, Luffy's Dream. Oh, what is Luffy's true dream? Oda already told us. That seems right. That seems closer. Okay, we could do that. Are you guys sure? Because I thought that's... Okay. JK Kane says, the One Piece is the Morj we made along the way? Yeah, it makes sense. All right. I'm all ready. I think everything's set up. I hope this doesn't... I feel like if I keep it in this box and don't do it full screen, I'll probably be fine. I have no basis for saying that, but it's just a theory. All right. All right. I'm going to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be back right after that, and we'll get into this. Also, let me just say, this is fun. I didn't know you guys would be so down for me reacting to things. I would have done it way sooner if I'd known that this is the case, because I want to react to it. I think that'd be fun. Didn't know if you guys wanted to react to it. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. You guys can hear me, right? How's the audio? How's my audio versus this thing's audio?
In chapter 1000 of One Piece, there was a particularly interesting scene where Ace
This sounds very loud to me. Alright.
accidentally revealed to Yamato what Luffy had told him lies at the end of his dream. For those that do not recall what this scene is referencing, it's referring to a scene from chapter 585, where, after Ace made a declaration that he would...
Where are we at? Did I miss anything? Yeah, there's 2 monitors now. There's 2 monitors at this point. Pedro Evelyn says, what is this, a Hassan stream? I don't actually watch, like, other streamers stream stuff, but I'm, like, aware of, like, how other streamers do it. and like I'm aware that some people like to do lots of reactions. Sheriff Laffy says, which Straw Hat is most likely to secretly live at their place of work? Don't they all secretly? They all work as pirates. They all live there. You're saying which Straw Hat is most like me? That I used to live in my place of work? So let's see. If they all had normal jobs, then probably Zoro, right? Zoro would be. I don't think Zoro would take the time to get himself an actual house. Caleb Brown says, really, voice, once you start, there's no going back. Yeah, maybe I just become pure reaction now. It's too quiet. Video is too quiet. Miss Super, thanks, Phantom Greyfire. Hey Morj, did you see the connection between Jaya and Beehive, both Blackbeard and Pirate Islands? Both are skull-shaped NL slash. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, juicy. Okay, connection. Okay, guys, shoutouts to Orca. He said there's a connection between Jaya and Beehive. They're both Pirate Islands. It's just that, imagine 2D, 3D, right? So Jaya is all flat. You're looking at it from above. It's the shape of a skull. Beehive, it's the full shape. Or, like, I guess a full 3D printout, essentially, of a pirate skull. Both are skull-shaped. NL slash Imu come after God Valley 2. Holy shit, I love it. I love that. Jai is where Luffy first met Blackbeard. He didn't take on Blackbeard, but that was the Blackbeard part of the story. Then go up to the sky, take on God. Wonder if we get a similar sequence. Similar sequence in the real One Piece world. End game of the story, you take on Blackbeard first, maybe at Beehive Island, I don't know. Take on Blackbeard first, then you go take on God. Interesting stuff. Orca is a genius. It's all snaps for Orca, I guess. Theory: when Strides go to Marisha, Zoro gets lost and walks in on Im finishing. Yeah, that's the thing that you always got to think about, which is like so many of these like badass silhouette characters, right? They're the same as the rest of us, right? So at the end of the day, like to me it was always funny to think back when Bleach was going on. I was like, so like Aizen, he definitely like there are days when Aizen just has to take like massive shits, right? Like Aizen he's got diarrhea or something like that, right? And then that whole like suave, like cool, all-knowing, omniscient, omnipotent persona, right? He's just in the bathroom, just having diarrhea, taking a shit like the rest of us, right? Same with jerking off. Like, Im probably spends a lot of people don't really know Im exists that much, right? So he's got to keep to himself. So he probably jerks off quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like these badass characters, they're just like they're just the same as you and I. Is all I'm saying. Anyway, I think I realized the problem with the desktop thing. So it's very loud to me, but quiet to you guys. I should have headphones in. I'm not used to the reaction thing. I'll be right back. So before you guys complain and are like, Morj, why aren't you using Raycons? You talk about Raycons. Why don't you use Raycons? It's because Raycons are for your phone. All right, they're for Bluetooth. You don't use them with your laptop. All right, they're for traveling out and about, not when you're reacting to theory videos on stream. Separate stuff. All right. Anyway, Elias name said glad that guy left. Ethereal Split says, hey Morj, is there another series you wish you had more time to make videos on? Yes. There are many series I wish I had more time to spend on. Wait 1 second. Let me check one thing real quick. Many series. Off the top, it would probably be Chainsaw Man, but I'm probably doing those videos anyway, so that's okay. Wait, we only have 431 likes. All right, the reaction doesn't begin till we hit 500 likes. Let's just say that. Reaction begins at 500 likes. I would love to do Chainsaw Man. I would love to do Berserk. I would love to do Hunter x Hunter, but I'm gonna wait for that to come back most likely. And I want to go back to doing movies and TV shows again on Movie Morj. I wish I could go back to Movie Morj. I loved Movie Morj, but it's just like, is it worth the time investment? Hard to say. Where are we at? I'm trying to think if there's something else. I don't think there's anything else really. I would like to go back to doing movies and TV shows for sure. Among manga, the only manga that I definitely want to do videos on are Chainsaw Man. I would love to do videos on Berserk. Would love to do videos on JoJo's. Would love to do videos on Hunter x Hunter. I think those are the 4 that I would definitely like to do. All right, 500 likes. Let's do it. All right. What about... Oh, yeah, the audio. I think the audio should be good. Let's just check that real quick. Aliat05 says, Vegapunk currently fails at overriding inner urges. If Vegapunk tries to control Luffy, could this reveal his dream since Luffy will still try and act on it? Oh man, imagine a Luffy Seraphim. It'd be hilarious. Remember the ore? Okay, the funny thing is that the ores zombie. Think about this. Moria's powers are pretty strong because if you go back to Thriller Bark, right? We'll talk about Aliat said in a second, but if you think back to Thriller Bark, right? So Moria's when he took Luffy's shadow, at first Luffy's shadow was rebellious, right? It rebelled inside ores. But after a little bit, even Luffy, who has probably the strongest willpower in the series, he was just kind of like even him past a certain point, Moria's power just overrode that, and he was an obedient zombie as well. But apparently that's not the way it works with Vegapunk, right? Could this reveal his dream since Luffy will still try and act on it? I don't know. There's some potential here for free will versus control that we could kind of delve into. We'll find out. Okay, where are we at here? Can you guys hear this fine?
Having meaning,
Me,
Luffy made
loud.
his own declaration in front of Ace and Sabo.
How do you guys feel about this audio? Hello?
The camera cuts from that scene, not allowing us to hear what Luffy said, only seeing Ace and Sabo reacting. Most people back then thought it was just Luffy declaring he would be.
Do you guys hear it? Sheriff Lafitte says, would be cool if we got a Strahd versus Ors Redux with Cyborg Ors Jr. That'd be funny. No, these ZZZs are planted by AJK and Koopy Koop to try and make me stop the reaction. We're definitely doing the reaction. We know the people want it. It's a little bit loud. All right, we can lower it. Let's lower it to, how about this?
Pirate King, just like he declared to Shanks, but some people already found it out back then that Luffy's sentence was cut, making them think he perhaps said something else.
Good. Okay, we're gonna keep it here.
This was for a hint.
We're gonna keep it here. All right, you guys ready? This is the first Morj reacts to a theory. The last time didn't count because it just doesn't count. This is a full ass theory. All right, we're gonna react to Luffy's dream. All right, and we're gonna do it at 1.5x speed so that we can move this along. All right. AJK, I have half a bite to ban you if you keep this up. Or at least take away mod status for like one stream. Alright, you guys ready? Alright, begins. First of all, let's just say this. Let me review this part of it. This little intro thing that he has is very nice, and I like this parchment paper sort of layout that he's got going. I should get something like that. Don't look at my white backgrounds. Don't look at him. Look at me. Don't look at the backgrounds. Look at me. Alright.
In Chapter 1000 of One Piece, there was a particularly interesting scene where Ace accidentally revealed to Yamato what Luffy had told him lies at the end of his dream. For those that do not recall what this scene is referencing, it's referring to a scene from Chapter 585, where, after Ace made a declaration that he would prove his life having meaning, Luffy made his own declaration in front of Ace and Sabo.
Yeah, move it along. I'm bored. Is there a way that this can be... First of all, why is the quality so bad? 720? Is that the highest it goes? Okay. This does not look like 720 to me. This looks like... What's the lowest it gets to? 4? This looks like 4.
The camera cuts from that scene, not allowing us to hear what Luffy said, only seeing Ace and Sabo reacting.
Yeah,
Most people back then...
This is boring.
To Oden and Whitebeard.
Yep.
Made it very, very clear that Oda was after 1000 outright confirms it, with Yamato claiming that Ace's statement lines up with I want to be the Pirate King, because Ace claims that this is a goal at the end of Luffy's dream. Since Luffy's dream is quite obviously to be Pirate King, this is a goal that Luffy considers he can only achieve after he becomes the Pirate King.
Okay, good point.
And if anything, this might be hinting at the fact that Luffy can only achieve this dream, or only wants to achieve this dream, after he becomes the Pirate King. This also lines up with something that was said at Sabaody, where in a flashback of Rayleigh, Shanks told him that Luffy uttered the same exact words that Roger once said as well, causing Rayleigh to develop an interest in Luffy. Since Luffy never really said anything else that
Get to the juice! Where's the juice?
Something Roger said, it's possible that Luffy told Shanks the same thing he told Ace and Sabo during a scene off-screen, because it's something that he always wanted to do, and that Shanks is referring to this very same statement when he was talking to Rayleigh. But then, what is this goal that lies at the end of Luffy's dream? What could it be? Something that Whitebeard considered downright childish? Something that causes people to laugh? Something that sounds so ridiculous that only someone like Luffy or Roger could claim? Well, as a matter of fact, while Oda does not outright reveal it in this chapter, Chapter 1000 might already give us a direct answer to what this goal is. However, to understand that answer, we need to understand Chapter 1000 on a deeper and more fundamental level than what lies at the surface. A couple of weeks ago, I had made a video about if there could be a possible will of the reveal in Chapter 1000, especially since Yamato talked about this matter of fate and inherited will that comes with the initial. However, while
The JM Lou 11 says, what do you think of the broken parallel of the big 4 of East Blue and the 4 Yonko? Seems like Luffy will be 3 Yonko max unless we count Buggy. Who are the big 4 of East Blue? Because, like, Luffy beat... oh, you're saying that parallel is broken, basically. I mean, it's more so like, what are the 4 arcs or storylines out of that, right?
the will of D was not revealed in this chapter, inherited will was still the central focus, because Chapter 1000 is a chapter about Luffy and the will.
Aztec Devices, bro, where's my Yonko tier shoutout? Aztec Device, did I miss you? Were you... Did it happen while I was out and away? I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to miss a single Yonko tier shoutout. Alright, everybody give Aztec Device some snaps. Give him some emojis. Other members, let's give him some emojis. I'll start the train rolling. I'll give you the green Zoro emojis. I like that. Alright, let's do it. Sugoi UK says this guy's taking too long to get to the point. How is that my fault? I'm at 2x speed at this point. That's not my fault. 2x speed? What more could you ask for?
Will he inherited through Ace. This is something that has been established since the very start of the Wano arc. From the very beginning, the
what's this? Mr. NACL says, hi Morj, my girlfriend thinks you can beat me up. What do you think? If yes, where should we settle the score? Yeah, I can do it. Don't even worry about it.
The arc opened with the story of Otama, a little girl whom Ace had made a promise with. Ace had shipwrecked onto the shores of Kuri, befriended the locals, and promised to take down Kaido in their favor. However, after Ace's death, Tama struggles to coming to terms with this, and yet it's in Luffy that she manages to find what she admired about Ace before. Just in the same way that Ace had once made a promise to help Tama not starve, Luffy makes that very same promise to her so many years later. And this plotline is...
Sheriff Lafitte says, do you think Arlong is a slave in Marishua? Like right now? No. Ace says stop stopping, OMG. No, this is how you react. You gotta start it and then stop it. Start it and then stop it.
continued on Onigashima when Yamato goes out of his way to meet Luffy. It's made very...
If we slow it down, it's just gonna take too long. I just want to get... What's the point? Where's the point? Where's the point? Alright.
Clear right away that Yamato has a big interest in Luffy. He outright states that he wants to join the crew. He's a certified fanboy of the Straw Pirates, as we've seen. He memorized Frankie's bounty and claimed that he was waiting for Luffy for a very long time. But unlike Tama, this is not simply because he sees a lot of ace in Luffy, but because he realizes that Luffy was actually the man that he's been waiting for all these years. Because Yamato had read in Oden's logbook that someday someone would come to lead the new generation of pirates. This is the exact same message that Oden left to Toki in chapter 972, claiming that a new generation of pirates would make their way into the new world 20 years after Oden's death, and that they would inherit his will to help free the borders of the Wano country. Freeing the Wano country is an essential step for the future of the world, and it's something that would pave the path towards leading to the dawn of the world. And this fact is indicated in the title of Chapter 1000, because at first glance, Chapter 1000's title appears to quite simply be Straw Hat Luffy, a simplistic but effective title. But what if I told you that's not the true full title of the chapter? Because, just like I explained in my previous video, the covers of Chapter 999 and Chapter 1000 were both half covers to a larger color spread included in separate jump issues. So, if the covers can be combined to make one unique cover, then the titles can as well. And so, combining the title of Chapter 999 and Chapter 1000, we get the full true title of Chapter 1000. The Sake brewed while waiting for you, Straw Hat Luffy.
Oh, wait, that's kind of interesting.
We get the full true title of Chapter 1000. The Sake
I brewed while waiting for you, Straw Hat Luffy. No, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's juicy. Okay, so it took 5 minutes to get to the juice. But that's interesting.
brewed while waiting for you.
Wait, wasn't it a triple cover? I thought this was a triple cover.
Luffy.
So he's going to bring in
the
the
title is actually Yamato. You wouldn't be able to tell in English, but in Japanese this is indicated by the use of the Kimi pronoun, which is used by Yamato in Japanese. And so it means that this is Yamato speaking, saying that he's been brewing sake while waiting for Luffy.
Okay.
The sake brewed while waiting for you is actually reference to an ancient Japanese poem about someone who was separated from their friend and wasn't able to exchange sake with them like they were originally able to.
There's certain things when Archer brings up, like, this is like this Japanese thing or something like that, that I have no frame of reference for, so I kind of just have to believe him. I have no idea if this is what the poem actually says or if he's spinning something or whatever, but
waiting for them and hoping to one day exchange sake with them again. In that regard, Yamato is much the same. He originally exchanged sake with Ace under Moon in Chapter 999, but after Ace left, Yamato waited for him.
Hey, what happened to Uteron? Does Uteron have any juicy theories? Did he just disappear? What happened to Uteron? What happened to Uteron? Can someone tell me? Weren't we all, like, sucking Uteron's dick for, like, a while? What happened to him? Alright, we'll just keep going with this one. I want some answers about Uteron. What happened to him? Where'd he go?
For him to return, only to find out that he was dead and that he would not be able to...
Should we be searching for him? Should we be sending out a search party for this man? None of us know what he looks like. What happened to him?
Exchange sake again. And yet, he realized that Ace was not the person that he was originally waiting for, but that person was, in fact, Luffy, as indicated in the title.
The Hidden Island says, I'll drop $100 super if Evil Power Vision reacts to my theory of everything vid after this one. The Hidden Island, I will do that for free, but not during this stream. This stream is about somebody else. But that sounds fun. How long is that theory? How long is that theory? I know, because I've seen your theories before. I swear I've wanted to watch them, but they're all very long. So like the only reason I would ever watch a theory that's like 30 minutes plus long is it just has to I don't know. It would be for something like this, for reaction. All right.
This is further indicated in the Sake that
Let's move this along.
This unaware 9 moon was also mentioned in Toge's prophecy as the one that came before the dawn, which further indicates that Ace was the one that came before.
Let's move this along.
This new generation of pirates towards the dawn was Ace.
Yeah.
Ace was Joy Boy. Now, whether Joy Boy in this case is meant to just be a title or Odin believed in something like reincarnation or whatever else, that's a whole other discussion for another day. I personally think I know exactly what Odin is talking about here, but it's something that's a bit too complicated to explain in this video, so let me just put it in simple terms. I think it's a matter of inherited will. I believe that Odin believed someone would come to inherit Joy Boy's will and bring forth the dawn of the world, becoming the new Joy Boy. Yamato had thought at first this Joy Boy that Odin spoke of was actually Ace, that he would lead a new generation of pirates in the new world with him, dig on Kaido, and lead the path.
This
The first
is stuff
reading, he
I've
probably thought
talked
this was just
about.
Yamato fanboying about pirates, but no, Yamato here was explicitly confirms this, claiming that he really believed that Ace was the one meant to lead this new generation
This is stuff I've talked about. Where's his
of
juice?
pirates.
All right.
In the final chapter, Return to the Reverie, if you remember, but it's something that has already been hinted at throughout the manga at many points, that Ace was originally meant to be Joy Boy.
Yeah.
His son. Rarely remark how Roger had no son, but Roger just joked that he just happened to be. Usually,
Yeah,
in chapter 5
yeah,
51,
yeah.
Sengoku already stated the same thing. He claimed that if Ace
Yeah.
Sengoku and
This is just like I'm watching a Morj video.
specifically the high rank
Where's
of the government
the
sacrificed
other
all those
stuff?
soldiers, all those resources, all those lives, all that money just for the sake of killing, making sure, according to Sengoku, because Whitebeard had also considered that Ace was meant to be the new Joy Boy, someone who had the potential to lead, willing to go out of his way to save his children, and the process, and he felt Ace.
This is all just pulled straight from the Marineford analysis. Sheriff Laffy says Uteron, that YouTuber never existed. Yeah, what if
Several of his ships that he had been with for so long were fighting for the future of the world. The stakes weren't just some random
For the record, I'm not trying to be insulting towards Arthur here. This is all stuff that I agree with. It's just because I already agree with it. That's why I'm trying to move it along. You know what I'm saying?
mid-tier bounty pirate who could have been in a bit of danger. No, the stakes were the life
Like the issue is not that I'm disagreeing with him. It's that I want some new stuff I
of
don't know
death
about.
of the next Joy Boy.
Yep.
Borgas the Ace was executed by Admiral Kainu, and the man who so many believed to be the new Joy Boy, the man who would lead an entire
Nico says more just so impatient.
generation to
I guess
bring the
so.
dawn, left us. This was not means
Yes. Tragic.
but Roger and Ace's will managed to live on and be inherited.
Tragic.
Carried on by someone else.
Yes.
Boy had left behind so long ago.
Okay.
And Yamato came to that conclusion as well, because he had realized what he had told him about his little brother lined up with what the previous king of the pirates had said, making him realize that the one who inherited Roger's will was never really his child. They stole Yamato, didn't he? Remember when Yamato asked about recent emerging pirates? Ace said that, yeah,
I think I'm starting to see why Arthur likes Yamato so much, because Yamato, I think he's describing like a lot of of interesting ideas about like Yamato's intent or what Yamato is
there are
thinking.
several pirates around the world, and I'm in a league of my own, but the number one toughest among all of them,
Yep.
the worst generation, was Luffy gained Wano, inherited Ace's will, and in his place will defeat Kaido. This is shown so evidently at the end of the chapter when Luffy uses Red Rock to hit Kaido, a move that is attributed to Ace's own attack. Kaido is He is the Joy Boy.
This is straight from some Morj videos.
Okay,
Come on
they
now.
might say, Arthur, all this stuff is really cool, but what the heck does it have to do with Luffy's true goal? Are we going off topic? Well, first of all, we get there when we get there, shut up. Second of all, well, you see, explain that Ace was originally perceived to be the one who would be Joy Boy is fundamental to helping understand why Luffy's goal at the end of this dream makes so much sense. Because Luffy and Ace's relationship is such a fundamental element of chapter 1000, and it's the original start of their bond that reveals to us the key clue to understanding what Luffy's dream really is. Let's go back to the original scene, the one that started it all.
So this whole section could have just been wrapped up with like Ace was supposed to be Joy Boy, but Luffy's Joy Boy. That's this whole section basically. This is. I was right to speed through it. I should have 3x speeded that if possible. YouTube only lets me do. There's actually an extension you can get though that I used for a bit where you can actually speed videos up for like 2.5, 2.25, stuff like that.
Luffy telling Ace and Sabo the goal at the end of his dream. Think about it again. What happens before Luffy makes his proclamation? Ace makes his own. And it's not the same proclamation that Roger had made, but something completely unique and different to give meaning to his life. Which already indicated to us this duality between Luffy and Ace. Ace didn't want to do anything grand like be the next Joy Boy or change the world, but he simply wanted to live a life he could be truly proud of. Yeah, thinking that fate perhaps is bound by bloodline and all these things. Yet if Whitebeard seemed going back to the original dream, what does Ace do after Luffy says that he wants to achieve his thing?
Oh, okay. This is some juice. Look at this. All right, okay.
Ace offers him a cup of sake.
Yes.
Ace, Sabo, and Luffy all decide to exchange sake cups as a symbol of brotherhood, a symbol of friendship. Ace, in a sense, was helping lay down the first step to Luffy's goal. Because the goal that lies at the end of his journey, the goal for Luffy after he finds the One Piece, is to exchange sake with people from all over the world. Or, to put it in better words, what Luffy said is, I want to throw the biggest party in the world. Or something along those lines. I believe the goal at the end of Luffy's dream is to hold the biggest, grandest party in the entire world, to celebrate his victory with so many other people from all over the world, and to exchange drinks with them. Luffy, Ace, and Sabo laid that first step by exchanging cups of sake, and from that point onward, Luffy would always throw a party and share sake cups with those he forms a bond with, and after every accomplishment he achieved. To break it down, in this series, parties usually happen after one or two occasions. Either one, when a new Straw Hat joins, since Luffy wants to exchange sake and bond of friendship with them, and at the end of almost every major arc after a big victory. This happens at the end of Arnold Park, at the end of Alabasta, Skypiea, and his lobby, Thriller Bark, Fishman Island, Pang Hazard, and so many others. One of the most important examples of these is Rosa, where the members of the Grand Fleet offer to exchange cups of sake with Luffy in a formal ceremony. However, Luffy complains against it because he feels it's too formal. Instead, he insists that they don't need such formalities and that they should just form a bond of friendship or something more natural, which is why right after that they just had to party together and exchange sake in a far more natural way to Luffy. These parties are something that bring people together. They get people from different races, beliefs, and factions together to celebrate hand in hand, abandoning hatred in favor of laughter. These parties bind, tie, and unite people together no matter where they're from, and that's why Luffy loves parties so much, because it's something that brings people together. I mean, ask yourself, what are the things that Luffy loves more than anything else?
Well, you don't have to ask, because Oda already was asked. In the volume 82 of the SBS, Oda mentioned that Luffy's favorite activities are adventuring and partying. It is literally one of the things that Luffy loves the most in this entire world. Even within this arc, remember what Luffy said after Jimmy joined? He wants to wait on the party and wait until they defeat Kaido and Big Mom to celebrate their biggest party yet. And if the party after Onigashima is something that Luffy's looking forward to that much, then imagine just how massive the party at the end of Laughdale would be. If the party at the end of Skypiea was enough to unite all the races from the sky and make them stop waging war, then a party at the end of Laughdale could be capable of uniting the whole world. To put a stop to the segregation and division that has been present in the world for so many centuries, and uniting all races and all people as one. That's why Oda likes to always draw these parties. In several interviews, Oda has claimed that he really enjoys throwing parties, and that some of his favorite scenes, however, are those of parties. Hell, Oda is even someone who loves parties just as much as Luffy and constantly throws parties at his own mansion with all of his friends and family. In fact, Oda claimed that he doesn't like to draw anything that would bring the atmosphere to said party. This is probably why he didn't do a party at the end of Marineford or Whole Cake Island because of Ace and Bitter's deaths. The claim of, I want to throw the biggest party in the world is something that sounds so ridiculous, something so childish, that if you heard it, it would make you laugh. Like Whitebeard said, it's something that a little kid would say, something that sounds so silly, yet such a humble ambition to achieve for how grand of a man you'd have to become to carry it out. But for someone like Luffy, it's natural. He doesn't want to be a big pirate, he doesn't want to be someone who rules the world, he just wants to be free. He just wants to share his life with friends. That, at its core, is his true dream, just like he told Rayleigh. But at the end of it, he wants to do something that is so naive and childlike that is so fitting of his personality. And, in fact, we might even be able to deduce where Luffy got this theme from. From the very...
Alright, so my thoughts so far. I think that we didn't need all of this shit. Maybe it's because these are talking points that I just go over like in a million of my videos many times. So maybe but I also don't think we didn't need a lot of this stuff. But I like Arthur. So here's the thing. So when I heard Arthur's theory earlier, it's like Luffy's dream is a big party, etc. That's kind of, you just see it in tweets and random stuff like that, and people kind of disparaging. But that's like a little unfair to him because you want the full context of how he explains it, right? Like usually an idea sounds a little funny on the surface, but with the proper explanation, yes, it is undoubtedly true to Luffy's character. Undoubtedly true to Luffy's character. I mean, the first crew member he wanted for the longest time was a musician because he loves that part of the story so much. And no matter how you spin it, like the ending section of One Piece arcs, always making that a big party or celebration, that is that's a staple of the series. That's like a key characteristic, and that usually is a point in the story where all characters have essentially, by that point in the story, everyone has set aside their differences, right? Everybody's learned something, right? There's no more sense of conflict. There's pure camaraderie. The One Piece parties, they set up a sense of pure camaraderie in a way that, I don't know, even other shonen celebration. I just love the One Piece celebration scenes, right? I love them quite a bit. Enies Lobby is obviously a great example of like lots of opposing forces that now are all together, etc. At the end of the party. Skypiea, obviously an even better example. I see it. I think one of the biggest things I'll keep watching the video or whatever, but I think one of the biggest things that I want to see connected here is basically like the idea that, I guess, like, what is the deeper reason behind it? We kind of get that, but I don't know if like this side of Luffy's been fleshed out enough for me to say concretely like this makes sense. So we know that one of Luffy's main things is that he wants everybody that he cares about, right, to be able to have as much as they want, right? That was something established at the end of Kaido. That's an ideal world for Luffy, where all of his friends are able to eat as much as they want. That does play pretty well into the idea of a party, right? Because really, what's Luffy really saying, right? If he's saying that what I want at the end of the day is a really big party, what is his actual desire there, right? Is he saying that he wants a world where there's no sense of larger conflict, there's pure absolute freedom, everybody's able to join hands and be friends with each other? If that's what's being said, I think that like that's something that it's hard to explain because that's something that tends to organically come out of Luffy's actions anyway, but he rarely, if ever, like I think the Kaido quote that he said at the end of that battle, that's the closest we've ever gotten to Luffy kind of expressing his idea of like what he wants society to look like or what the world to look like for other people, right? Not just himself, not just I want to be free, I want my crew to be free, I want to be able to travel the seas as I want, I don't want to rule anything, Pirate King is just the freest man. The Kaido quote is the closest to us understanding what does he want beyond that, right? It would potentially lead to something like this, but I think that looking throughout the story, it's hard to make a great case for this just yet, just because the party is what organically happens at the end of each arc, and the party organically tends to represent, a setting where at this point conflict has been resolved, there is no oppressive force anymore, everyone is free to do what they want, everyone is free to join hands, etc. I think we still need like a little bit more from Luffy's character himself for me to feel like this is something intentional that Luffy strives for at the end of each storyline, like, versus this is just something fun that he happens to really enjoy that comes organically with doing adventures, basically. But I like where Arthur's going. I see it much better now than I did before when people were just throwing it out as like a random thing, you know what I'm saying? Like Archer says it's gonna be a party. I'm like, party? I don't know about that. But if we attach greater meaning to what a worldwide party represents, I would like it. Let me take a look. Randy's in chat. What's up, dude? Sheriff Lafitte says, isn't the giant party theory just Big Mom's dream? I think Oda will be more unique for Luffy. No, because Big Mom's dream, so that's the thing. It actually, the fact that it's Big Mom's dream actually adds credence to Archer's theory, right? Because if we go, you guys watch this shit, all right? Big Mom's dream we're talking about, I feel like that's chapter 832? Am I like way off? 831? Come on now. 830, come on now. I'm getting embarrassed in front of these people. 836? 800, it's after Sanji's flashback, right? So it's gotta be like 836? 835? This is getting really embarrassing. Kingdom of Soul? 834? My dream. There we go. I was so close. Fuck. All right. So we're gonna look right here, and then we're also gonna look over here. So, what are we addressing here? Sheriff Lafitte said, isn't the giant party theory just Big Mom's dream? I think Oda will be more unique for Luffy. So the idea in general is that a lot of One Piece villains, and particularly he's been doing this with the Yonko, they have similar ideals to Luffy, but there's something flawed about the way that they go about it or how they envision it, right? So quick examples being Kaido and Luffy both, over the course of the Wano arc, they both talk about how they dislike the idea of the class system, right? They both address that. Right? That's something that comes out for both of them, Luffy throughout the course of the series, but Kaido in general, right? But Kaido's solution, or what he envisions as a world of freedom, where there is no sense of hierarchy or class, it's more so just a state of nature where strength might makes right? And that's not how Luffy views it, right? He wants to make sure that everybody has everything that they need, at least all of his friends do, right? Similar with Blackbeard and Luffy, they both pursue freedom, right? They both have some vision of a free world. Blackbeard's is much more chaotic than Luffy's, right? So you look at Big Mom, right? So Big Mom does have this dream, in theory, of like everybody sitting at the same table, same level, eye to eye, right? And she's going to be the one who makes that happen. But how does Big Mom want to go about creating a society like this? That's the big difference, right? So the big difference is blah, blah, blah. Where are we at? A deal with the devil makes Toddleland serene thanks to our loving queen. Basically, if you read this entire chapter, to build a place of happiness, a world of pure tranquility, where all the races of the globe are treated with normality. So she's talking about an ideal world, kind of like Luffy's, where everyone's together. But if you leave, you'll have to face your imminent mortality, right? Over the course of this whole chapter, she kind of breaks down what she views as a perfect world. The difference is that she would enforce it. Everybody has to be good, otherwise they get punished by her, right? This even goes back to her backstory. Please get this right. 868, come on now. Damn it, I'm one off. Okay, 867. Embarrassing. 2 off. Man. This is just Big Mom, right? This is just how she grew up. I wanted them to be friends because fighting is bad, so I put them in a cage. Mr. Bear ate Mr. Wolf. It was very naughty, so I spanked him. Basically, like, if you go through Big Mom's character, her whole thing is, yes, she'll create an ideal utopia where everyone lives in harmony, but at what cost, right? The cost is that she's forcing you to do certain things, right? She's forcing you to be good. She really is a giant, all-powerful mother, right? So that actually adds more credence to Arthur's idea being correct, because we have a villain that has a contrasting, or I guess a similar but different sort of dream, right? So it adds more idea to the notion that Luffy will eventually create something that is a better version of what Big Mom had, because he has the right mentality behind it. Wait, I think I'm behind one more super. Give me a second. Sal Borghini says, Morj's Gorge. Roger Pirate's laughing upon reading Joy Boy's message. Poneglyph and Straw Hat's laughing at Luffy's dream. Luffy equals Joy Boy confirmed. I mean, yeah, Luffy's Joy Boy, right? Modern day Joy Boy. Whatever that means, be that a title, be that a role, blah, blah, blah. Luffy's modern day Joy Boy. Kenneth C. Bridgewater says, I think Luffy's dream is to make the world one big pirate crew of free and happy people. It's just like, it literally won't be, right? There will still be nations. There'll still be the world government. There'll still be marines, stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe in theory. Bingle Dupe says, yo, AJK, just make a video, dog. It's not even his theory. It's not even his theory. What he just really wants me to read it. I've also read it, for the record. He wants me to read the theory and then come discuss it on stream, which I will do at some point. Don't even worry about it. It's coming.
For one of One Piece, one of the very first things we see in the chapter are the red hair pirates, partying, singing.
For the record, I'm not saying like I agree with Arthur that the dream is a party, but I can see where he's coming from. I wouldn't be surprised if he's wrong. part of it is personal preference in that I would hope that Luffy's dream is something more than that. I would really love if we get some final big revelation about Luffy's character, I suppose, through this dream, something that I feel like would sync up more with what he's been actively saying and actively kind of espousing as his motivations throughout the series, whereas the party would kind of just be something that, like, okay, that was just something that was happening naturally over the course of the story over and over, and now we're finding out that this was always Luffy's dream, and that's kind of what he fights for, I guess, at the end of the day. So I wouldn't love the party theory, but I'm not talking about whether or not I like the theory, right? It's more so, do I see the argument behind the theory? I see the argument behind the theory for sure.
Laughing, drinking, and partying, all while Luffy looks at them in admiration. Shanks even tells them not to fill Luffy's head with crazy ideas, but Luffy is fascinated, both by their claims of how free pirates are, and how by one should just have fun and a good time and party. To just laugh, party with friends, and enjoy life. So, Luffy likely made this same declaration to Shanks, that one day he would throw the biggest party in the world.
Sheriff Laffy says, well explained, Big Mom is so interesting, I hope she has a coherent, interesting, and satisfying conclusion to her character arc. Yeah, that's going a little too far.
And in fact, that might be why Luffy declared to Shanks that he would become the Pirate King, because becoming the Pirate King was the only rational way to achieve
I mean, unless you think that she's coming back, then maybe she does, but I think Oda's done with her. Maybe not.
goal. That only
I mean, like, not only did Big Mom, like, let's not forget, not only did Big Mom, like, go down in the most embarrassing way possible, right? Her crew, like, look at this. Big Mom's crew was bad at, like, okay, compare Big Mom's crew that we once saw, and this one will be the one take, chapter 845, right? Look at the crew that we once saw, right? The Enraged Army. This scene was so dope, right? Look at this. Where is it at? Oh shit. No, come on. Like, this was once Big Mom's crew, right? Terrifying, right? There's a storm, like, it's just such a cool scene. See the whole island engulfed by storm. It's Big Mom's power, forces of evil coming out, etc. And now look at them. They were just a bunch of scrubs at the end of the day. Like, look at, this is a cover page. Come on. Look at this shit. This is Katakuri and Ovid. They can't even keep, like, they're, like, pretty much just Caesar broke them out of there. Like, pretty much just Caesar's fucking stupid ass gas did it. What is this? Keep in mind, the Straw Hats trying to get out of Whole Cake Island with all these forces after them was basically hell. That was essentially an entire arc. That was the whole third act of Whole Cake Island. Germa 66 trying to break out of Whole Cake of Totaland. That was like, that happened in basically 10 cover stories. So essentially 10 panels. Right? It's it. This is it. They're out of there now. It's not that hard to get out of a Yonko's empire once the arc is over. It's not exactly the same, huh? Nerve AMV Maker says Zoro is a better rival to Luffy than Kid or Law. Not gonna say nothing. Zoro is not Luffy's rival. Goopy Coop says, Miss Super from do you think, thanks Goopy Coop, do you think that what they laughed about on Laugh Tale is related to what was funny in Roger and Luffy's dreams? No, I don't think so. I think that it's something just really, really absurd about the true nature of the world. Spade says, I think Luffy's dream is for the raid to fail. Ooh, cut me deep there. Alright, let's go. Most of the way through
such a
this.
massive party. He tells Shanks he'll gather a crew better than his, one he can celebrate his party with, and that he will surpass him. Both the
Arthur is
But only
also
at the
saying, to clarify, he's not saying Luffy wants to be Pirate King just to throw this party. He wants to be Pirate King to be free, but this party is a goal he wants to achieve at the end of his dream. And part of it is also just like, in theory, once you're Pirate King, you've achieved absolute freedom. Therefore, there's no conflict or force that's really against you or holds power over you anymore. So all of your friends would be able to enjoy a party held by you. I guess I could see something like that. Maybe I'm over I don't know, over helping this, I guess, along, I guess. I'm just tossing the idea around in my head. Sheriff Laffy says, do you think the Big Mom Nami parallels are meant to have any deeper meaning / significance? No, I don't think so. I also think that they were, it's whatever.
king, he could throw such a massive party. He tells Shanks he'll gather a crew better than his, one he can celebrate his party with, and that he will surpass him. Both the will of becoming the freest man in the world, to pursue the meaning of freedom, as Roger put it, and the wish to throw the biggest party in the world are the things that drove Luffy to pursue his dream today. Which is why, at Sabaody, Shanks told Rayleigh that Luffy said the same thing Roger once said, because Luffy had made that same declaration to him once in the past. And it makes sense, because Roger was also someone who loved to party. The very first thing that happened after Odin joined the Roger Pirates is participating in a party with the Roger Pirates, which threw away any tension and antagonism there was between them at first. It united them as friends. Across their journey to Laptail, we see them singing and partying as they head there, and after all of it is over, Roger threw a massive party with his crew in chapter 968 to celebrate his achievement, once again exchanging rings with all of them. Perhaps Roger was not able to accomplish this biggest party in the world like he had wished to.
It's hard to view this stuff as evidence though, because it's just like, it's also just like Oda just likes drawing party scenes, right? So it's just gonna happen anyway.
But at the very least, he still threw a very big party, and so Luffy set out to see to accomplish this same goal. This is something I felt like people have never paid enough attention to, but why else do you think
Ippo Takamura says, what if Luffy's dream is to be the space pirate king? The universe is vast and space is the ultimate freedom. Oh man, then we're definitely getting two-piece.
that Luffy always insisted on having a musician from the very beginning? Is it just a gag, or is it because a musician?
He brings up the musician thing. Yeah, the other thing I kind of like about this is that this would give... I've always seen it as like all of the Straw Hats in my mind are set up in some manner to have some role to play towards the end of the story. I talk about this in a series of videos about the Straw Hats' final dream, so I kind of go through everybody, right? I think everybody has some significant, unique role that they can play, and it's attached to their own dreams. So some things that I talked about were obviously Robin and the true history. I think that Chopper curing the incurable disease that Luffy very well may get by the end of the story, like that ties into what took Roger down, but also ties into, you know, Chopper getting to fulfill his dream when it's most important, curing Luffy, right? Frankie, I think it is very, very, very likely that Frankie builds Pluton or something similar to Pluton at this point in the story. It just sounds important. Where else are we at? Sanji, all blue. I think that Sanji, it was important. Like, so the Brook thing plays in here, right? I think Sanji, all blue. I think all blue is created with the destruction of the Red Line, in which case, like, Sanji is crucial in the sense that he's able to likely be a big part of the final. Like, he's going to be the guy cooking for the final feast at the end of the story, probably with the fish that come from the all blue that could be created from the destruction of the Red Line, right? Brook never quite fit in. Brook was cool in that, like, probably if the Red Line's destroyed, right, you have to destroy it at 2 points, so you destroy it Reverse Mountain, so you get the reunion between Brook and Laboon, and Brook's story kind of wraps up there, but Brook doesn't have anything that really contributes to Luffy's dream in that sense, right? Like, you know, Nami, I expect her to be key to getting them back around the world to fight at Marijoa or wherever they need to be, because she's made a map of all the islands, right? Like, I can go down the list and be like, this is how this Straw Hat could contribute, and it ties into their story, etc. But with Brook, it would make sense if, like, if Luffy's whole dream encompasses also a party, then you want basically the best musician in the world to provide the, I guess, live entertainment for that, I guess. So the same way that Sanji's contributing at the end, you could say that Brook's contributing. I don't know. Just something small that I think adds more value to Brook down the line. I think, like, kind of like the more emphasis that Oda plays on, like, the importance of these parties and these celebration things throughout the story, like, the more value that someone like Brook has. Because at the moment, it's like, he doesn't quite have as much value as the other Straw Hats overall, right? But if Oda really wants to say that, like, no, the party parts of the story really, really are important, that's what everyone's ultimately fighting for, then, yeah, like, the guy that makes, you know, it's not a party till Brook shows up, the guy that makes that the case, I guess he is fairly important. So I'm still entertaining this theory in my head.
Is someone essential to a party? Because a song is the life of a party, and yet there is something even more fun.
Aespa comeback says, not sure if I want Luffy to just be a party bro. Yeah, I'm not saying, do I like this theory? As in, like, I would want it to be the theory? No, I don't like this theory. Like, I don't want Luffy's dream to be a party. That's not interesting to me. To me, it takes something that, like, is, I don't know, the last really, really potentially interesting thing for Luffy as a character, and it makes it something, like, just, I guess, a little too simple, I suppose. And it would fit with, like, yeah, Luffy's a simple character at the end of the day, but it would be nice if there was, like, for example, when Luffy first dropped the quote, right? Like, when Luffy first explained himself, I might be, like, 1 or 2 off here. Did I get it? I think I'm, like, 1 off. Did I get it? Might be 2. I'm, like, 3 off. 1 off, 2 off, 3 off, 1 off. Like, when Luffy first explains, you know, he just wants to be the freest man, right? Like, I think that this was important. And this was something that's, like, it's a simple statement, but it reveals a lot about Luffy's character, and it fits with our understanding of Luffy's character, but it's one of those things which is a simple statement that I think adds a lot of a lot more meaning behind his character and what he does and what he's fighting for and his motivations, right? I think the party thing is cool and it would still feel in line with something that Luffy says, but it feels like it's not as revelatory as maybe something you would like to see at the end of the story. Basically, it would feel like something that Oda would do, though, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't put it past Oda to just be a party.
Fundamental to a party that is sound.
I'm not saying so. Basically, bottom line is like this isn't me saying like whether I would like this to be the case or not. I'm just like, is Arthur correct or not, which is a different
reason why this thing has been such a fundamental theme across the series. To explain this, I want to reference a scene from Stampede. Stampede is a very important movie because it hints at so many important things about the end of the story, many of which haven't even been revealed in the story yet. But something that's
for the record, I actually watched Stampede. Here's how I watched Stampede. I ended up watching it. So again, like on my other laptop, I have an extension that lets you speed up or slow down stuff, even outside of YouTube videos, just any video player. So the way I watched Stampede was I just put it on, and like every scene that wasn't action, I put it on like 4x speed. So it just flew through that. And I was kind of like looking down at it, looking away, blah, blah, blah. Not really paying attention. Then I saw some action, and I played it. And Stampede is a joy to watch. It's actually a very fun movie to watch. So I've seen 2 One Piece movies now. I've seen Film Z and Stampede. Stampede's a lot of fun to watch. I was wrong about that one, because I thought I'd seen most of the fight clips already online as separate YouTube videos, but there was stuff I still hadn't seen, actually.
Struck out to me when I first watched this movie.
Like, I didn't know, like, Crocodile fights Zoro and, like, Lucci fight. Like, even though it's just, like, a random small scene and stuff, it's just, like, oh, damn, that'd be cool to see. Aztec Device says, Luffy's dream is to be free, eat meat from every village, / country and island, and not share because he'll be the Pirate King. The thing is, Luffy does actually share. That's the thing. He's a liar. The Lear 7, thanks, I appreciate it.
Movie in 2019 when I traveled to see it in Japan was a scene where the antagonist of the movie, Douglas Bullet, claimed that relying on others is a weakness, and that the reason why Rancho and Whitebeard were dragged down was due to wishing to defend others, believing that relying only on himself will allow him to become the strongest of all.
Dog, I just don't know if, like, I'm talking to Arthur like he's here in front of me. I just don't know if I want to take anything from Stampede other than that, like, little laugh tail reveal. It's just like Douglas Bullet not relying on other, like, that's nothing new. There's like other characters like that. Like, this is the same as Crocodile. Although Crocodile's goal wasn't really to be the strongest of them all, he just didn't believe in relying or trusting others.
This is a major theme of the movie for Bullet's motivations, and in a particular scene, he tells this to Luffy, telling him confused.
I'm probably gonna skip all of the. I'm just gonna be skipping all of this Stampede stuff.
He doesn't care about ambition. He only can throw a big party afterwards. That's why friends are so important to Luffy.
Yeah, this is obviously important, but this is like you could just read Marine Ford and understand this. You don't need to reference Stampede, in my opinion. Yep.
The reason he got strong was to be able to protect them, so he'd be able to take every single one of them to the final island and be able to throw this massive party. He cherishes them and looks after them because to him, they are the most important thing in the world, more than anything else, more than even his own.
I don't think this stuff is like real evidence for it being a party, because like all of this applies to Luffy's character, even if it wasn't for a party. Like he still just doesn't want to be alone. He still doesn't want to lose anybody, right?
Dream. He could not, because without Sanji, like his friend, Luffy could not achieve his goal.
No, this is not. I disagree with this. Without you, I can't become the part. I don't think this means like without you, I can't throw my party. I mean, like, even if the party thing is correct, I don't think that that's what Luffy's saying. I think he literally believes that to become Pirate King, he needs Sanji at his side.
Of this sequence in Luffy's memory, he may not be able to Pirate King just over again, able to party alongside his
No, this is anime only.
Everything. And in the anime, after...
And in the anime, after we saw this sequence in Luffy... No, this is called... The anime needs to stretch time to fill the episode, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to fill a full episode. That's just what...
That we saw together, because
right.
Luffy to give them this proclamation of being Pirate King... Because at that moment, it's not his top priority. His friends are friends. But party with. Didn't laugh or scoff at Luffy's dream. He didn't consider and made the same declaration. And what Ace told Yamato party. Yamato didn't laugh or scoff at Luffy's dream. He didn't consider it silly. He didn't consider it absurd. In fact, he wanted to be a part of it.
That's possible because, okay, this adds credence to it because Yamato's dream, well, at least as far as we understand, right? Like, Yamato's main thing is friends. She doesn't want to be alone. Similar stuff there. That was the whole thing from her backstory, her 10 out of 10 backstory or whatever. So it makes sense, right? And she's also such a naive, dumb person that something like, oh, a party where everyone's together, like that actually fits perfectly into Yamato's dumb Yamato brain, right? She would probably think that that's a genius thing and not something to laugh at. Why? Because she's lived her whole life cosplaying as this dude whose journal that she's read because she's just so obsessed with the idea that she needs to be this person so that people will like her. Because from her backstory, it seemed like her biggest thing was her fear that, like, nobody would like her or accept her or whatever, right? So it makes sense because Yamato's dumb. So, like, it actually adds... Yamato's stupidness and the fact that she accepted his dream actually adds to the potential that the dream is in fact a party. Rajesh Narayan says, Luffy's dream is rectal suppositories for ED. Thanks, Rajesh. Appreciate it.
When Ace accidentally told Yamato about Luffy's goal, Yamato mentioned there once was a man who had made that same declaration, and what Ace told Yamato in turn was that, maybe one day I should sit down with him and Luffy for a drink. Ace is saying that he wants to exchange sake with this man. Think about this in the first place. On his journey, and so just how great of a party to gather with Luffy at the ends of the worlds, to exchange sake with him once he's found the One Piece. Or, to put it in other words, what Yamato has been holding on to all this time is the sake brewed while waiting for you, Straw Hat Luffy.
Don't know about that, but it's kind of cool. It's like cool as a little idea. Wasn't it a 3-page cover story though, or am I crazy? So wasn't there like a third title to this? Or am I thinking of a different one?
Just like Luffy, that is
Like 3-page color spread or something. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
of my own. Well, to be technical, I have many.
Okay. Sorry, Arthur, I'm not as interested in the dreams that you have personally. Although I'm sure that they're phenomenal and special, but this is where we call it a close here. I like this video, Arthur. If you're watching this, I like the video. I would have skipped large portions of this. I did skip large portions of this and this, but I think that there was some real juice over here that did get me thinking about a lot of things that I hadn't thought about. And I thought the Yamato point was valid, and those 2 color pages connected. I don't know about that. I got to look at that, but that seems cool too. So yeah, props, dude. I liked watching this video. All right. So. Oh, wait, one. Miss Super. From Island Sanji. Thanks, Koopy Coop. Where are we at? With Morj, I'm gone for a bit and you got cool emojis. Yeah, you can spam them in chat. Spam the emojis in chat. I love the emojis. Bingle Dioop says, and we're getting more because we've actually got so many members at this point. Like, we've got a good number of members going right now. So you get more emojis allowed, the more members you have. So you know what? Like, I don't know if I'm streaming Thursday or not. Before I was like, I'll just stream whenever a chapter comes out. This week there's no chapter, but I've been enjoying the Thursday streams. I think partly because I'm just like more relaxed by the time Thursday rolls around. I like the Monday streams because it gets my week started with like something that's, you know, kind of very interactive and everything like that. But at the same time, like, it's also the start of the week. Whereas by Thursday, it's like almost time for the weekend. So I'm just like, yeah, let's go. But on top of that, I do want to showcase, have you guys help pick like some more of the emojis basically very quickly. We won't spend like a lot of time on that, but like I'll just pull up the list again, the sheet again, and you guys can just be like, just spam what you want in chat or whatever, and we can add some more emojis. Because again, like the more members you get, then the more emojis that you're allowed in chat basically. Like if you only have like 2 members or something, you only get like 4 emojis basically, but we've got a good amount. Bingle Dioop says, not just any party, a party on the moon piece is real. Thanks for contributing that. I'm gonna do a poll real quick on how you guys felt about the video. Aztec Device says, now do the Twin Peaks Explained video. It's 4 hours. No, that doesn't sound fun to me. The Lear 7 says, what if Luffy's dream is for everyone to be a pirate? How come people keep saying that? Or was it just you multiple times? You said it multiple times, I swear. AJK says, Morj, the Randy Troy Law Sword video. No, because I believe it. Like, I'm on board. Like, that's one of the things where I'm like, I'm on board. Yeah, maybe Law's a member of Sword. It sounds good to me. And like, I think Randy's mentioned a few times, like, it's like, I think I've heard from Randy's mouth himself some of the reasons surrounding Law and Sword. I think even the time that we spoke in person. So it's just like, I don't gotta watch a video on it, basically. I'd be happy to do a Randy video, though, if you got a different one for me. I think I asked, he said he had a really good one on the Rocky Port incident. I might do that one. Ippo Takamura says, I think Luffy's dream is to enjoy some shahinan and butter chicken from Rajsahi Indian restaurant. Is that like a real restaurant nearby? I said nearby, like you guys know where I am. Francisco Mas, welcome to the Yonko. Always love seeing Yonko members. Oh, the sound effect came a little delayed for me. I don't know why. Okay. So that was a pretty good, I think that was a pretty good theory to react to. I think in the future, shorter ones would probably be preferred, at least for me. I think definitely shorter ones would be preferred for me. But, yeah, I think that was a solid one to react to. I could even do the Hidden Island. I think I'd go to Randy if I wanted a shorter video. And maybe I'd go to the Hidden Island if I wanted the longer video. I think that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Do the poll? Okay, let me do the poll and see how you guys feel about it. How did you feel? And I'll be fair. I'll like give multiple options. How did you feel about the party theory? And okay, for the record, this is not whether or not you would like the theory to be correct, right? It's not like, oh, a party would be lame. Don't view it like that. Just think like, is it the likelihood of it being correct or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, Don't base it on your personal like preference for what would happen in the story. Let's see. Seems likely could be it, but there's more to it. Don't buy it. I gave 3 options to be especially fair. Sheriff Lafitte says, yeah, like Sora's Blackbeard video. I didn't know Sora's known for theories. I actually don't know what Sora's for. Hidden Island saying thanks, guys. Hidden Island's videos are interesting from start to finish. This is Gray Eminence. Okay, I could do a hit. I'll do a Hidden Island theory next. Not today, but I'll do a Hidden Island theory next time we do a react. AJK says, Morj, we couldn't watch the whole video. How could we get all the points? We skipped the points that weren't that relevant. Like I'm not even saying that just to say that like I got the gist of what he's saying during the vast majority of like the Ace, Luffy, Joy Boy. Like we get it. Like we get what the Ace being supposed to be Joy Boy, Luffy picking up that role, etc. The inherited will. Like that stuff honestly wasn't that important to the rest of the video at all. To be honest, if you guys are here and you guys are Morj watchers, then everything that was said in that section is already extensively covered in a variety of Morj videos, so there's no new information for you there. I'll just say that. And I know that sounds... It's just the way it is. That's just true. So most people... I shouldn't have given a middle option. We're just going to go down middle of the road. We're going to do this again. There's no middle option. I was too kind giving a middle option. Oh shit, the battery's gonna die. Why am I not plugging this in? Oh wait, I know why. What a shame, I had to kill the other monitor. There's only room for one monitor around these parts. In terms of battery life. Because I need a power strip right there to be able to plug everything in. Okay. Let me ask the new thing. Sheriff Lafitte says you should do reactions to topics you haven't normally covered. I don't think I really covered that one that extensively. Likely. Okay. You believe the party theory. And let's go with yes and no. And we're going to leave it at that. Hoyao Porto says, I don't think Luffy's dream is to throw a huge party since some of the Strats look genuinely scared after he told them about it. That's interesting. Well, if it's like a party for the whole world, I don't know. Trying to give it some, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, it seems like a majority is no, but it's not that crazy of a majority. It's like 60-40. That's like props to Arthur, because getting like 60% of people to believe like a big time endgame story about, or like 40% of people to believe like a big time endgame theory like that, that's like pretty good. So 40% of you are on board with the party. That's crazy. I'm like on board ish. If I was personally given this poll, I just wouldn't vote. So I guess that's me middle roading it, but that's what I would do. Francisco Mas says, hey Morj, I never comment on the streams, but I've been following for more than a year. I really enjoy streams and all of your videos. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for making my afternoons better. Thank you. Seriously, I don't say this enough. Props to everybody who showed up. This is Morj with sleep. Morj with sleep is in a good mood. He's happy. He doesn't mind all of the previous ZZZs in chat and everything like that. He's happy. He's appreciative. We got a lot of members that joined today. I really appreciate each person that joined members, especially people who joined Yonko tier and everything like that. And I'm happy that, every Monday, chapter, no chapter, whatever, so many people are willing to join in and tune into streams. The reaction stuff, I'm trying to do things that are like outside of my normal comfort zone. If you guys don't like it, we'll do other stuff in the future, but I enjoyed doing that reaction. Maybe depending on the topic, if you guys have like some really good video topics, we can talk about Hidden Island or something going forward. But yeah, I have lots of ideas for more fun things to do down the line in streams because streaming is just gonna be a more regular thing from here on out. Eric Trollauder says party idea has to be the dumbest of all time. Damn, Eric. Damn, Eric. Eric just swooping in and just sucking all of the air out of the room. That's cool. Eric just comes in and is like, party idea has to be the dumbest of all time. All right. After I was so nice to it, too. Pina says party theory basically is fact at this point. Okay, so two pretty conflicting viewpoints. That's cool. We want controversy. We want divide. That's where discussion comes from. Mr. Crescent says Morj and everyone in chat doesn't exist. What does that mean? Phoenix says I'm at work, so this stream helps. Yeah, I love the fact that like lots of people watch the streams at work or like odd locations and stuff like that. Miss Super, Phantom Greyfire says Miss Super from Hybrid, Guts versus pre-time skip Zoro. It's just like I think that's pre-time skip Zoro just because like Guts wasn't really like he's obviously like the Berserk world fighters in the Berserk world are like for the most part they're not that like out of the normal level of human ability. They're superhuman, obviously the stuff Guts does, but like it's just different. Like, you know, like I don't think I see like the stuff that like Zoro could cut some really really big shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he could shoot giant air cannons and stuff like that that could cut down buildings. That's the Berserk world just isn't written with as much superhuman stuff from its typical set of warriors. Obviously, on the higher end scale of things, like when you're getting to the God Hand and stuff, then it's reality warping stuff. So its full spectrum is much crazier than the One Piece world. But Guts isn't like that superhuman. He's definitely superhuman, but he's not like where pre-time skip Zoro was, I don't think. We're gonna wrap the stream in 5 minutes, basically. I think 5 minutes is good. Then I can go eat and stuff. Sheriff Lafitte says you never did your Straw Hat tier list. I'm not doing a Straw Hat tier list. People don't need to see like how I rank the straws and stuff like that. I was saying it. Okay, let me be honest. I was saying like I was giving my Zoro Guts breakdown in a very lukewarm sort of manner. Like I was trying not to be very blatant about it, but I'm seeing people agree with me in chat. The main reason being I know like people are really protective of like people Guts fans really really love Guts. So like Berserk fans really, really love their series and are very, very, they'll defend it to the death or whatever. So I was like, let me say this in a way that's not just like blatant, like, yeah, Zoro would fucking destroy him. Let me try and tone it down. But if I'm being perfectly honest, like, it's not, they're not even, and like, when I was, okay, here's the thing. I always question when people compare characters of different series in a fight because like, I don't remember the last time I even thought about shit like that, if that makes sense. Because I used to. When I was young, high school age, I actually used to care a lot. Especially like Marine Ford was going on and stuff like that. Who used to go to like Naruto forums? Naruto forums was a thing. All they did back there was like power scale shit. They would power scale series versus other series and stuff like that. I wouldn't debate on those forums as much, but I would obsessively like read threads and threads of like, how would Whitebeard do from this character against Bleach? How would I would be like, yeah, the One Piece Logias, they can beat all of these Naruto characters and stuff. Like, I used to care so much. At this point, I don't care at all. And that's not to say I don't like power scaling. You guys saw like the whole stream I did with Brago and King. I love that shit, but it's just like, it makes no sense to me comparing between series. Because usually between series, the biggest thing is that series have inconsistent, like, these are all fantasy worlds. So the authors write up their own set of rules, I guess, in terms of like, I guess the simplest way to put it is that in one universe, right, breaking steel might be written as really easy, but doing something like lifting a car would be considered really difficult. Whereas in another universe, like the One Piece universe, let's say breaking steel is treated as very difficult, but like lifting a building is easy. You get what I'm saying? Like, or dodging bullets. Don't even get into that. Like some series, characters will do all sorts of insane shit, but they can't dodge bullets. And then other series, you have like a really street level guy who's not that fast and strong, but they can dodge bullets. So it's kind of like, I realize it's no fun to compare strengths of different series when you realize that like authors just like arbitrarily decide how difficult or how, like, it's totally, like, it gets really arbitrary how strong an author decides or how authors scale like just physics across different series. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it this way. In the Bleach world, you know the ability Sero, right? Sero is just like an energy attack, right? Like, it's a giant laser, basically, right? In the Bleach world, Seros are a dime a dozen. Like, all sorts of all these hollows and shit, like even the lowest level of Manos or whatever can shoot Ceros, and it's pretty big and crazy powerful attack or whatever, right? If you could shoot, like, Ceros are pretty big and crazy, right? In the One Piece world, that would be insane, because very few characters can shoot giant energy beams and stuff in the One Piece world. Flip side is that in the One Piece world, it's pretty average for characters to be able to, like, bench press building. Like, Luffy punched through all of that bedrock and caused a mini earthquake just with his fists pre-time skip in Alabasta. In the Bleachverse, that's not that common, if that makes sense. So it's like, in different universes, the authors treat certain things like, oh, you can shoot a giant energy beam, that's normal. Oh, you can, like, lift a building, that's crazy. Whereas in another universe, that might be swip-swapped, basically. So, long explanation of basically just, like, I don't care what characters can beat other characters in other series. Like, sometimes it's obvious, like, Goku's gonna destroy anyone in the One Piece world. But, like, other times it's just, like, who cares? Sheriff Lockheed says you never did your Straw Hat tier list. Oh, yeah, sorry, just mentioned that. Tom says, I have a really hard time sleeping at night, and the VODs of streams I miss help. I mean this in a good way. I'm not saying your streams are boring. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I know what you mean. Caleb Brown says, Morj is going bald because he training like Saitama. The Saitama training regimen, like, I'll be honest, like, people joke, oh, wait, let me see the Saitama training regimen just so I know exactly what it is, right? It's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, right? And how many miles does he run? Or it's kilometers, right? 10-kilometer run. Yeah, I would not want to do this. This is harder than my gym routine. I think. Like 100 push-ups, I don't think I do like endurance stuff at all. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, I could do 100 sit-ups. That's fine. 100 sit-ups is not. 100 sit-ups is really, really not hard. 100 push-ups is. 100 push-ups is hard. I don't think I've tried doing a bunch of push-ups completely fresh though. I don't know. I don't do push-ups. I don't really do, like, I'll use weights and stuff like that. 100 push-ups is hard, I think. 100 sit-ups is extremely easy. What's an air squat? 100 air squats? Is that just squatting without, like, any weight? Is that just a normal squat? Anyone... What? Okay, here's what I could do. If I was doing the Saitama training regimen, I could do 100 sit-ups, no problem. 100 air squats, no problem. If you asked me to do today a 10-kilometer run, how much is that in real numbers? Okay, in real numbers, it's 6 miles. I don't think I could do a 10-kilometer run. I think if I had to, like, kill myself, I could do it. Like, if I was to end up, like, near death. Yeah, if I was to end up, like, near death, right? Like, you know, like Luffy after he beat Lucci or something like that, right? Or Zoro after Mr. One or something. Like, if I were to end up near death, like, I think if, gun to my head, I had to do 10 kilometers, I think I could do it, especially if I'm allowed to slow down. If I'm allowed to slow down and get to, like, a brisk walk, it would be easy. Anyone should be able to walk 10 kilometers easy. I guess it depends on their definition of run. Like, do I have to stay above, like, what is the definition of running speed? Let's see that. There's no real answer. What speed would I have to maintain? Okay, 10-kilometer run, we'll say it's a gray area. The 100 push-ups is hard. 100 push-ups is hard. I think that's a hard thing to do. I don't know if I could do it. I think 100 push-ups is harder than a 10-kilometer run. I don't know. Francisco Mas says, man, miles are so lame. Miles are a million times better than kilometers. Why? Because I grew up using them. No other reason, really. People are talking like... My opinion, I'll just say this, which is just like, people love the metric system so much. They love the metric system so much. My personal theory is over time, give it enough centuries, I think people will have to adjust to the other one. You know what's funny? Because I just think that America is never going to change to the metric system, and I think that slowly we do manage to exert our influence. I mean, obviously America could just collapse as an empire, which is arguably already happening, so it's hard to say. I'd say all I know is that we are never influenced by outside people in terms of like we will never change our ways because outside people like kind of force it on us. You know what I'm saying? Whereas we try to we're pushier with our stuff, I think. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All I'll say is this, like, this is the way I view it. All right, this is the simplest way to put it. I view the metric system as the metric system, right? I don't even know what the fucking word is for what we use. Because to me, that's just the default. I'm like, there's our system, the system, right? I don't even think about it as needing a name because it's just the system, right? We have miles, we use pounds, stuff like that, right? Not pounds like money, like fake money. I'm talking like pounds, like how much you weigh, right? So we have that. And then everybody else uses this thing called the metric system, which is, that's cool. But like, that's like this weird alternative, like indie music type thing that other people are using, right? And then we've got our system, which I'm used to and I grew up on. And it's straightforward and simple. And it's just like miles and Fahrenheit and shit like that. And I like that. Like, what's the name of our system? Imperial system? That sounds pretty cool. Let's be real. That sounds cooler than a metric system, right? Sheriff Laffy says Celsius is way better. Okay. So if I'm being real here, let me be real, right? So jokes aside, obviously the metric system is better. It's just so much cleaner than everything else that we use, right? The metric system, obviously better. If someone could magically go and erase all of the imperial system out of our brains and teach us the metric system, I'm sure it would be much better for everybody, right? I personally think that Celsius versus Fahrenheit, I think in day-to-day life, Fahrenheit is just better. Reason being, like, I'm used to enough the Celsius system just because, like, my family's from India, so they will always refer to temperatures in Celsius. So this is me speaking as somebody who like listens to people refer to temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit. Celsius is definitely better for science, right? Scientific purposes. Fahrenheit, I think, is generally much better for describing like day-to-day temperatures, like what we actually experience in real life. I won't say definitely. I know that there's room for argument or whatever, but at the very least, I think that the numbers, you kind of have, I feel like you kind of have like clearer benchmarks. It's just such a nice, easy scale. Everything's going to go from 0 to 100. That's generally going to be your normal scale in terms of the range of temperatures you're going to experience, at least in most parts of the world for the most part. It's going to be generally falling somewhere in the ballpark of 0 to 100, so it's already kind of nice and neat. And on top of that, like, I think you can describe temperatures more accurately. I mean, that's just a natural function of having more numbers to work with there, basically. But like a single degree of variance in Celsius is just like more extreme, whereas I personally feel like I'm better able to get a gauge, and like it's easier for me to think about real world temperatures of like how hot or how sunny a day is going to be if it's like 75, 76, 80, 81. Like I think that it's just generally easier to describe in terms of Fahrenheit than Celsius. That's the only reason I'll make a case for Fahrenheit, but people have explained to me that like for science purposes, Celsius is better. So I get it. Ipa Takamura says, you think that's bad? Look at Herschel Walker's routine. Herschel Walker, I don't even know who that is. All right. Tom says Celsius is based off of water, so it makes no sense for humans. Yeah, that's actually a really good way to put it, which is like if you want to look at it at scientific purposes, sure, Celsius makes sense in that regard. But like as a real human being, I can personally think of like the entire spectrum of range of temperatures that I will experience over the course of a year as ranging from 0 to 100 over the course of winter, fall, spring, summer, right? It's just it pretty much everything falls into that range, and it'll have to be really extreme to go a bit above 100 and really extreme to go a bit above 0 or a bit below 0, and that just it feels like it's a nicely pre-modeled set of temperatures to work with, basically, right? So anyway, thanks for hanging around, everybody. Well, somebody else kind of argued. Audi Chun said humans are 70% water, which is actually a great counter argument. I know that we all tend to walk around thinking of ourselves as essentially being water beings, which is it's so funny anytime that fact comes up that we're 70% water. Because like, in fantasy worlds and or even just thinking sci-fi worlds and things like that, you think about like these strange planets with all sorts of different organisms, or these strange like fairy tale like species, right? Like imagine a creature that's like 80% fire. Their body is mostly composed of fire. Like imagine some strange aquatic creatures that are like half physical form, half just nebulous liquid. And it's like, wait, for some, by the standards of probably some other existing alien species out there, we literally are, not only are we the water planet, obviously we're the water planet, but we are basically we're the fishmen, right? We're probably the fishmen of the universe. Think about it like that. Us human beings, probably if we ran into other species or whatever, they would view us like essentially the equivalent of fishmen or mermaids or something, because we just we live on a planet that is what, 70% water, something along those lines. We live on a planet that's like largely water, right? We continuously drink water just to survive. We have to drink it, right? We have to drink water to survive. We're mostly composed of water, right? If you cut us open, water comes out. Yeah, we're just the fishmen of the universe. That's just the way it is. I missed some supers. All right, let me take a quick look real quick before I end stream. Humanoon says, let's all wish Morj good luck in court. You got this, you'll beat this case. I am so lost as to what this even was. Caleb Brown says, Morj is going bald because he's training like Saitama. Ipa Takamura says, you think that's a bad look? Look up Herschel Walker's routine. I think I got everything. I think that's everything, right? All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you all later.